to live in. The normal world and the real world. Before I get the live stream started, I want to give a massive shout out to Galaxy Gamer, Chad Middleton, Aidan Denston, Milkman the Gamer, and Damien and Alan Sewell. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the live stream. So, the normal world and the real world. The majority of us. Chad Middleton, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you, buddy. Hope all is well. The majority of us humans, we live in the normal world. I have 12% on my phone. No problem, Chad. Stick around for as long as you can. No pressure, no hassle. The majority of us humans live in the normal world. People who live in the normal world live an expected life. They live the life that is expected of them, and they also fit into their life. So, they're born into the world, and from an early age they are told what is right and wrong and what they should and shouldn't do. They get an education, they further their education, they get a nice job, they find a partner, they settle down with a partner, get married, have kids, get a home, and get a car, retire, and die. And along the way, they feel they are expected to have and do every one of those things. They're expected to get an education, a job, a partner, kids, and a car, and a home, because that's the life that everybody else around them has. So therefore they feel that is the life that is expected of them, and that is the life that they should have. And that ties in with the need for these people to fit in. They look around them and they see the life that the person beside them is living. So the person beside them has an education, a good job, a partner, kids, a car, a home, all of that kind of stuff. Green Herb talks, yes. So they see that life that the person beside them is living, so they feel like that is the kind of life that they should be living. It's the life that is expected of them. So they also want to fit in. So if the person beside them is listening to the latest and most popular song, well, these people who live in the normal life feel like they need to listen to that song to fit in. Or if the person beside them is playing the latest popular game or reading the most popular book or movie or a TV series like Game of Thrones, then this person feels like in order to fit in to this life, that they need to basically listen to, play, watch the same content the person beside them is watching, playing, listening and reading. So the normal world is a life of expectation and a life of fitting in. It's pretty much a life of, well, what's the person beside me doing? I'll have that. I'll have what they're having. That is pretty much what the normal world is like. And the real world, not a lot of people live in the real world. There's actually a very small number of people who actually live in the real world. Now, people who live in the real world live a life that comes from how they truly and honestly feel inside. So every action, every decision that these people make in life comes from their heart, their mind, and their soul. Lots of people took the blue pill from the Matrix. Funny you should mention the Matrix, actually, because I will talk about the Matrix, not the movie The Matrix, but the theme and concept of the Matrix a little bit later. So these people who live in the real world, they live a true, honest and independent life. Again, every action and decision they make comes from their heart, soul and mind. I guess one way to put it is they do what they want and say what they want. But to, I suppose, elaborate on what I'm saying is people who live in the real world, they love who their heart loves. They will settle down with somebody who they really love. They love from their heart. Who they love in their heart is the person that they will spend time with. And they will listen to music and play video games and watch movies and TV shows and read books that they genuinely and honestly like and love. They will live a way of life that is true to themselves. They will decide whether or not to get a car based off their own feelings. Same goes for a job, same goes for a home, same goes for having kids, same goes for settling down with somebody. So in contrast to the normal life, people who live in the real life don't live an expected world and they don't fit in. You see, people who live in the normal life fit in. People who live in the real world stand out. And that's probably one of the biggest differences between people who live in the normal life and people who live in the real life. Now it's completely up to us which world and which life we want to live. Okay, it's up to us whether we want to live in the normal world or in the real world. It's completely up to us. I wanted to make that short video just to really let people know that there's actually two worlds that we can choose to live in. And I wanted to explain what these two worlds are and the differences between those two worlds. And I'm going to go to the question now. And I'm going to ask people, which world do you live in? Do you live in the normal world where you live an expected life? Are you getting an education right now because you feel it is expected of you? Are you going to further your education because it is expected of you? Are you going to get a nice job, settle down with a nice partner, have kids, get a car and get a home because that is expected of you? And are you playing the latest popular game and watching the latest popular TV series or watching a movie or reading a book because the person beside you is, and you just want to fit in? Or are you living in the real world where every bit of music you listen to, movies and TV series you watch, video games you play, books you read, are all entertainment that you truly like and you truly love? Are you living your life from your heart, soul and mind? Are you living a life that is directed by you? Are you directing your own life? Are you making decisions? Are you taking actions that are true to you, your heart, soul and mind? So, are you with somebody in your life who you love, who you truly love from your heart? Are you living a true, genuine, honest life? Are you living in the real world? Now, Chad, you mentioned The Matrix. Great movie, by the way. Great movie trilogy. Fantastic movie. That fantastic movie has a fantastic concept. A concept of, what if we are living in a matrix? What if we are living in a fake world? And what if outside of this fake world there's actually a real world? YouTube censoring removes comment. Wait, did you leave a comment and YouTube removed it? Is that what you're saying? So what if there was a real world outside of this matrix fake world? What was the comment you left? What comment did you leave? Let's see if they try to censor it again. Hey YouTube, if you're listening, fuck you. Try and censor that. So The Matrix introduces this concept. Now, it's a fictional movie. I said I was in a clown world, and they censored that comment. I thought you were going to say something like 9/11 was a hoax, or Muhammad was a paedophile, or something as controversial and as factual as that. That's a bit strange. So I'm lingering on too much here now. The Matrix introduces a concept that we are living in an artificial world, and that somewhere out there is the real world. But a lot of us feel too comfortable in our artificial world that we don't want to explore and live in the real world. So in a way, the Matrix kind of ties into what I'm actually talking about here. Now I'm leaving it very open-minded. I haven't really, how can I say, I haven't really spoke about people who live in the real world and people who live in the normal world, in terms of, I haven't really gave my opinion on which world you should be living in, or which is the better world. I've just thrown it out there, what these two worlds are and how people in those two worlds live their life, and I've simply asked the question, which world do you live in? So I always do this in my videos and my live streams, and it's the part that I really don't like, because it's the part where I feel like I spend too much time on. But I'm going to summarize what I'm saying. A lot of us feel like we need to go to school and get an education, further our education, so we can get a good job. We feel like we need to settle down with somebody, marry them, have kids, get a car, get a house, and live this glorious life, because that's the life that the person beside us is living. So we feel like we need to fit in to this world, and we listen to the most popular music, and we watch the most popular movies and TV series, and we play the most popular games, and people who live that kind of life, they're living in the normal world. And then you have people, a minority of people, who they don't fit in, they stand out. They're so independent and they're so unique and different. They really stand out, and they have different opinions of things, and they love from their heart. They love people because they genuinely love people. They don't get with people because they're expected to get with them and they should get with them. They get with people because they truly love them from their heart, and they make decisions in their life based from their heart, soul and mind. Everything they do comes from genuineness, honesty, sincerity and love. There are people who live their life, not the person's beside them's life. There are people who will always speak their mind and say things that comes from their own heart. So there are people who direct their own life, and those are the people who live in the real world. So which world do you live in? Do you live in the normal world or the real world? Okay, so I have not more to add to this video. I suppose I could ask a question. A lot of the times in my videos and live streams, I like to ask questions. I like to keep things interactive. Now, I've already asked one question to my viewers who may be watching this at a later time. But Chad, if you're still on the stream, if your battery is still holding up, who's currently living in the clown world, this, to be honest with you, the world that we live in now is pretty much a clown world. Except the joke has gotten a bit stale, hasn't it? Anyway, Chad, which world do you live in? Now I know I'm probably painting this situation where you'd almost feel like the obvious answer. You'd almost feel like the obvious answer is the real world. You might get the impression that I'm kind of selling you the real world. That's not really what I'm trying to do, because a lot of people feel comfortable in the normal world. They feel comfortable having an education. They feel comfortable having a good job or wanting to get a good job. They feel comfortable with somebody beside them that they can wake up to in the morning. They feel comfortable having kids. They feel comfortable having a car. But just to delve, I suppose, okay, I didn't want to do this, but just to delve a little bit into that. But there are a lot of people who actually wake up in the morning beside their girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever, and they truly don't love them. And there's plenty of people who are in higher education that really don't want to be there, and there are people working jobs that they don't really want to be there. Now, let me clarify this part. I'm not saying these people don't want to work. I'm saying those people don't want to be in that job. There's a lot of people who are driving around in cars that are paying insurance, tax, petrol, parking. It's costing them a fortune that they don't really want, but they do it anyway. A lot of people have homes that they can't keep up to with their mortgage. But they're doing it because they're telling the person beside them they love them even though they don't. They're in higher education even though they don't want to. They're working a job that they don't like. They have kids that they probably didn't want. They have cars and homes they probably don't want, but they live this life because they feel like they have to. Because it's the expected life. It's the life that everyone else is living. It's the normal way to live your life. And they fit in because they don't want to be left out. Whereas I feel like people who live in the real world live a much more free, independent life. And they don't really care what the person beside them is doing. My comment got removed again. Which comment? The same comment about the clown world. YouTube, if you're listening again, fuck you, YouTube. Fuck you. I'll say it again. Hey, algorithms. Let me clear my throat. Listen up very carefully, YouTube algorithms, or whatever the fuck you're called. Fuck you, YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. You know I love you. I'm just playing. So I feel like people who live in the real world, they don't really care what the person beside them is doing. They don't really care what the person beside them is listening to or playing or reading or watching. They live a true life. Okay, so I'm waiting for your answer, Chad. So, Chad Middleton, which world do you live in? Do you live in the normal world? So I keep on getting world and life mixed up, but they're pretty much the same thing. So which world do you live in? Do you live in the normal world or the real world? Just thought this would be an interesting topic, actually. I just got thinking about it yesterday. There was a moment yesterday where I just realized that a lot of us are living in two different worlds. Now, I'm not talking about people's personalities and people's preferences and stuff like that. Like, you're not talking about people who like ketchup over mayonnaise. You know, I'm not talking about that type of level in terms of living in real world. Same here, Chad. Same here, Chad. Same here. Just like you, Chad, I live in the real world. You see, Chad, I'm currently looking back at a man with a jeans, black jumper, grey hair, walking his dog. Chad, I don't feel the need to, I better grow my hair like that. I better get a black jumper like him. I better get blue jeans like him. I better get a white dog like him and go for a walk as well. You see, Chad, the qualities of a normal person. I just some normal people. I don't have the qualities of some normal people. We all have different qualities in life, Chad, and we need to be proud of our qualities. So yeah, I don't want to be that person walking past my home. I want to be me. And if I saw that person walking past my home with a nice looking woman and they were just newly wedded, I don't want to get married because somebody else got married. You know, or if I saw this couple walk past my home and they had 2 kids, I don't want to have 2 kids because they have 2 kids. You see, like you, Chad, I live in the real world. I'm true to myself. I'm true to my heart, my mind, my soul. I do what I love, and I love who I love. This is my moment of silence that I was told by my tutor in my public speaking and presentation course that is actually a good thing sometimes, just to have just a moment of silence. Instead of saying, instead of using those words, I was told to use silence for a while, just to kind of gather your thoughts and to continue with the speech. These people took the same act, the same as you said. Yes, you see, in life, everybody else is taken. You have to just be you. So people who live in the normal world, I feel like they're living the same act that everybody else is living. You see, me and you, Chad, we live in the real world, and we do what makes us happy. We don't do what makes other people happy. We don't try to fit in to make them like us. Like, we don't make other people happy, so therefore they can make us happy. Like, for instance, Game of Thrones, hugely popular TV series. I haven't seen one episode. I don't plan on seeing any either. You see, if I had a friend who was a massive fan of Game of Thrones, and he was like, "Oh, you should watch this, man. You should watch this, man. You know, I'm going to spend some time watching Game of Thrones, or you really should come over and watch it." I'm not going to say, "You know what? Yeah, I'll watch Game of Thrones because my friend watches Game of Thrones, and if I make him happy, I'll fit in and he'll like me more." You see, people who live in the real world don't live their life like that. People who live in the real world will say, "I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones. Enjoy Game of Thrones, buddy. Talk to you later." People who live in the real world, they do what makes them happy. They do what they love, and they love who they love, and they love what they want. And they live a true, genuine, honest life. They don't fit in, they stand out. They don't really care about what the latest music is, the latest games are, what the latest movies and books and TV series are. They will watch and listen and play and read what they like. And they don't feel that strong urge to fit in as people in the normal world do. So I suppose really, me and you, Chad, we live a free, independent and unique, different life. It's a genuine life, it's an honest life, it's a true life, it's a different life, it's our life, it's unique. We do what makes us happy. We do as we please, we do as we choose, and we don't fit in, we stand out. And this is not really kind of we're better than people who live in a normal life. It's just, this is just who we are, Chad. This is who we are. It's a bit like if I was in the LGBTQ plus community and if I said I'm gay as opposed to somebody who's straight. Because if you're straight, you're not in the LGBTQ plus community, are you? So it's pretty much the same thing, really. Those normal people give Fortnite a bad reputation. And actually, okay. Fortnite is the biggest game in the video game industry right now. Everybody who's anybody is playing Fortnite right now. So while we're talking about Fortnite, let's use Fortnite as an example of a popular video game that a lot of people in the normal world play because it's expected of them. It's a popular game, therefore I'm expected to play this game. My friends in school have this game, so I am expected to play this game, and if I play this game that 10 of my other friends in school are playing, I will fit in. So I do think there's a lot of that going on in the area of Fortnite. I think a lot of people, they want to fit in by playing Fortnite and they feel expected to play Fortnite. Whereas there are a lot of people, however, in the real world, who just simply do not play Fortnite, not because they hate the game, but because they just don't like the game. And they just don't want to play the game. And they're quite happy to tell their friends, I don't like Fortnite, I'm not going to play Fortnite. And they're strong-willed enough to put up with whatever reaction they get from their friends, and whether they are less liked by their friends. Because there's actually something I want to mention here. If you have somebody you call a friend who is going to think less of you because you don't play Fortnite, you need to evaluate your friendship with that person. Seriously. Because that person is not your friend. If your decision to play a video game is the reason they're your friend, that is not right. So yes, Chad, Fortnite is an example of a popular video game that people in the normal world feel expected to play, and they feel like they need to fit in to their group of individuals, friends, family, whatever, to fit in by playing this game. Whereas people in the real world, if they don't like the game, they won't play. Because as I said, Chad, people like ourselves who live in the real world, we will do what makes us happy, not what other. We will do what makes us happy, not other people. We will do things for ourselves, not for other people. We won't fit in with other people. We will stand out to other people. We will play the games that we love. And if we don't love Fortnite, we won't play it. Now me, I like Fortnite. I wouldn't go as far as to say that I love Fortnite, But I like Fortnite. But my reasons to play a Fortnite are unique to me, I feel. I lost a friend recently who decided he doesn't want to talk to me. He won't say why though. Chad, I'm sorry to hear that. If he can't even tell you why he doesn't want to talk to you, he doesn't sound like a good friend to me, Chad. I think that if you'd done something or said something that was so wrong that it led him not to talk to you, the least he can do is talk to you about it. Tell you why he doesn't want to talk to you. So yes, Chad, I think you know, he doesn't sound like a good friend to me. So yes, so there are two worlds that we can choose to live in. The normal world and the real world. And you can live two completely different types of lives. And maybe if you're living in one of those worlds right now and you don't quite like the world you're living in, you can make a simple choice right now to live the life that you want to live and to live in the world that you want to live in. If you're in school right now I know we have laws, we all have to go to school, don't we? But let's say you're in I do believe that we all should get a basic education. Just not really something that... Okay, sorry, let me explain what I'm saying. Let's say we are in Ireland, let's say that we're in secondary school. If you're in like second, third year in secondary school right now, and you're studying away in biology, and you're studying away in woodwork or metalwork or home economics or whatever the subject is, if you truly feel in your heart and soul that's not what you want to do, that's not what you're interested in, that's not what you're going to be doing when you get older, but you feel like you're going to put up with it because it's expected of you, you're expected to, you know, to learn biology because it will benefit you in the future for your job opportunities, you know, like, you know, maybe you're in that situation right now. You know, you're living in a normal world. You're living in the life that is expected of you. You are expected to learn those subjects. I'm at 2% battery now. I'll switch to my other phone, but I won't be able to comment. No problem, Chad. I appreciate the support as always. I'll be ending the video very shortly anyway. So, or it could be a situation where all your friends, no matter how old you are now, all your friends have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you feel this sudden urge and desire, oh my God, I have to go out there. I have to go out there and get a girlfriend. I have to get a boyfriend. Because everyone else does. You know, that's a very expected life, and that's the life of somebody who lives in a normal world. Or it could be a case of, have a good day at work. Thank you. Our life. I'll try to have a good day in both. Or you could have somebody who's in a job, or maybe a person that's getting a job opportunity, but they don't like that job, but they feel pressured and expected to take the job because that's what everyone else does. Everyone just gets a job they don't like. It could be anything. It could be a car. You have a car and you're putting so much money into this car, but you have that car because you're expected to have that car, and because the person beside you has a car, so therefore you have to have that car. Same goes for a home. You know, maybe there's people living that life right now. Maybe there's people living that expected life right now, a life that they're fitting into as well, but they don't really want those things. They don't really want to listen or play or read or watch those things. They don't want to engage in that life. They feel expected to. Well, you have a choice. You have a choice. It's not too late. You have a choice. There is the real world. And in the real world, you don't look at the person beside you for guidance on how to live your life. You look inside of you. You look into your heart. You look into your soul. You look into your mind. And you say, Johnny, Chad, whoever, what do I want to do? Who do I love? Forget what the world says. Forget what the world is doing. Who do I love? What do I love? What do I want to do? What do I want to buy? What do I want to listen to, read, or watch? That is the real world. And that is a free world. And that is the life that I and Chad and other people out there live. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of people, when you're considering some 6+ billion people living on the earth, there's very few people who actually live in the real world. So that's about it. 2 worlds, normal world, real world. Which world do you live in? Which world would you like to live in? So, but maybe you live in the real world, and maybe you are, I don't know, put under so much pressure. Maybe it's hard to love the person you really love. You know, maybe it's hard to get the job that you really want. Maybe it's hard for you to step up to an authority figure and say, no, I don't want that job. Or no, I'm not going to settle down and have kids. Or no, I'm not going to get married. Or no, I'm not going to play this latest game. Maybe you find it hard. But again, you have a choice. You can either stand up and fight for what you believe in and fight for what you love, or you have the choice and you can live in the normal world and you can live this comfortable, relaxed, expected life in which you just fit in. So you can either fit in or you can stand out. The choice is yours. Thank you for watching. Shout out to Galaxy Gamer, Chad Middleton, Aidan Denston, Milkman the Gamer, and Damien and Alan Sewell. I have been Johnny from Green Herb Gaming. See you soon in the next stream.